Hi, I'm Ravinder Singh and welcome back to my show Grow Your English Skills, the show which helps you improving and learning your English skills. So today I am going to start a new explanation series and I have named this series Story Explanation Series. In this series I will take a story and I will try to summarize that story and it will really help you in building your phrases, vocabulary power. So let's know the first story of this series. The name of this story is The Last Lesson, which has been written by Alphonse Daudet. It is the story of a school teacher who taught French language in the one of the districts of France. That time it is going war between these two nations. They are German and France. So German it supports the Persian and Persian they get victory over the France. And two of the districts of France they pass into the hands of Persians. So all the teachers of France are asked to leave the schools. This story described about such a one teacher's last lesson and it is narrated by his student. So let's know about this story. Little Franz starts for his school very late that morning. He is getting late and he is great fear of scolding. Because his teacher Mr. Hamel he has given participles to pupils to learn and little French he does not know even a word about participles. So he thinks of running and spending his day out of door rather memorizing participles. So let's know about participle. What is participle? Participle it means a form of verb that can be used to indicate a past or ongoing action and that can be used like an adjective. So let's know some of the illustrations of participles. I am just giving you some example. I saw a flying bird. Here the flying word it is a participle. I saw a running boy. Here the word running it is working as a participle. So little French he does not know even a word about participle. So he thinks of running and spending his day out of door. It is very bright day and lovely day. The birds are chirping. The Persian soldier they are dealing in the open field. These all things tempt little French rather than rule for participles. You know when a teacher when he gives some work to his student to remember, so the child when they are going to school, on the way of they are going to school, they keep on memorizing, they keep on repeating the thing because they try to remember it if they will go into school and they will not recite the things, so teacher will scold. So French he does not know even a word about participles, so he doesn't memorize and he thinks to cut the school, but somehow he gathers his confidence and he goes toward his school. When he passes the town hall, there he sees a crowd which is in front of bulletin board, but he does not stop to inquire what the matter can be there now. He thinks in himself, of course, definitely there will be bad news because for the last 2 years, all the bad news have been coming from there. So he thinks, of course, there will be bad news like the lost battle, the order commanding officer, draft. So he hurries off to his school. The blacksmith who is sitting there, who is reading the bulletin board, he calls after him, "Don't go so fast, boy, you will get your school in plenty of time." But French, he does not stop and he thinks that the blacksmith is making fun of him. And he goes to his school as fast as he can because you know he is already getting late. So he goes. On the way of he's going to school, he thinks that it is school starting time and when it is school starting time, you know, different type of noises, different type of bustles all sorts of sounds can be heard, like the opening and the closing of desks, the chapters which is repeated in unison. Unison, it means doing at the same time. When teacher makes a student to stand and say to him recite the table, so all the students, when the student he recites his table, so all they recite behind him. So he thinks that in the school this type of noises he will get, and he will enter into his class without being seen by anyone. But when he reaches his school all out of breath, he sees and he finds that his school is still. It is very quiet as like Sunday morning. So why has it been conveyed here as Sunday morning? Because no, when it is Sunday, on the Sunday the people they get at their work and they sleep till late morning, and on Sunday, so hardly there is noise in society, and on Sunday it is holiday in the school, so it seems little friend as Sunday morning when he reaches to his school. Through the window, he sees that his classmates they have already sat on their place, and teacher Mr. Hamel he has already come to the class, and he has caught his iron ruler under his arm. When his teacher Mr. Hamel he sees little friend, so he says to him, "Go to your seat, little friend. We are going to start the chapter without you. So go your seat quickly." Little friend he jumps over his bench and he sits over his desk, and he really gets over his fright, some control. He sees that his teacher Mr. Hamel he is in his beautiful dress. He has worn his green coat and frilled shirt, and he has his silk triangular cap which is embroidered through all sides. He finds, and the most amazing things which really makes him most surprised, he finds that his village people they have sat on the back bench of the classroom. Among them there is old Hauser, which is old primer book. The former mayor, the former postmaster, and several other village people they have come to attend the class. Little friend thinks about all these things. Suddenly, Mr. Hammer says that, "My children, this is going to your last lesson because the order has come from Berlin. In the school of Alsace and Lorraine, only the German would be taught. So it is going to be your last lesson, and your new teacher comes tomorrow. So I want to you be very attentive." These words come to little friends like a thunderbolt. Thunderbolt here it means a loud crash which is made by thunder. Mostly it happens in raining. So these words come to little friend like a thunderbolt, and he starts to feel in himself sorry because he has hardly learned to read and write his own language. And little friend he understands everything. Why has Mr. Hamel worn his beautiful dress? Why has the village people sat on the back benches of the classroom? And why is blacksmith stopping him? He understands everything. He understands that his teacher Mr. Hamel has worn his beautiful dress which he really wears on inspection prize dress. It is honor of this last lesson which he is going to give to his class. And why are the village people they have come to thank Mr. Hamel for his 40 year of faithful service. Little Frank is thinking about all these things. Then he hears that his name is being called and he is asked to recite the rule for participles. He tries to recite the rule for participles, but he gets mixed up on a single word and he really makes his head down holding on his desk and he doesn't dare to look up. Then Mr. Hammer says to Little French that I will not scold you, Little French. You must be feeling bad yourself. You keep on saying that I will learn it tomorrow. Now you can see that where we have come to. Now those person will say to you, you pretend to be French man, neither you know to speak nor write your own language. Mr. Hammer says that we all have a great deal to reproach ourselves. And he says to Little French that, Little French, your parents, they are not anxious. They are not eager to send you to school. They prefer you to put on a farm or a mill for having some more money. And Mr. Hammer, he blames himself too. He says that when he is not way of teaching, he sends his student to water his flower instead of their teaching. And when he wishes to go on fishing, so he mostly used to give holiday. After that, Mr. Hamel says that he says about his French language. He says French is the most beautiful language in the world. It is more clearest and more logical language in the world. And he tells about his class that when a people are enslaved, they can be said to have the key to their prison as long as they hold fast their language. Hold fast, it is used as a phrase, as a verb. It means to have control. When the native of that language, they have control on their own language, and if they are enslaved by other power until they have their own language knowledge, no one can rule them completely. Mr. Hammer explains about all these things. After that, he gives grammar lesson. That day, little French understands everything. He understands things very clearly because Mr. Hamel, before that, he has never explained these things so much devotion and patience. It seems to little French that Mr. Hamel, before leaving the school, he wants to give his whole knowledge which he knows. After that, Mr. Hamel he gives to write something, and that day Mr. Hamel has a new copies for his students. There is written over the copies cover in bold letter, in round hand. France Alsace, France Alsace. These things seem to little French that it is a flag, little flag which is fluttering everywhere in the classroom. That time there is no sound. There is only the sound of scratching the pens over the paper. Yes, sometimes some beetles they fly into the classroom. Nobody pays any attention on them. On the roof, the pigeons they are cooing. So little Franz thinks in his mind that will they make them sing in German? Here the author wants to convey the idea. Will they? They it means here Persian people, German. Will they make France birds to sing in other birds' voice? The author here tries to give the conclusion that you can make somebody slave with their body, but not with their spirit. You forcefully can impose other language, but you cannot snatch the love of their own language. If Franz sees that his teacher, Mr. Hammond, he is gauging first thing, then another thing, because for 40 years he has been there in same room, and he hears that his sister, his their trunk because they have to leave next day. And old Husser, he has worn his spectacles, and he has opened his primer book on his knees, and the eyes, it is filled with emotions and trembled. After that, the church clock it strikes 12, and the Persian trumpets are heard, and they were drilling in the open field, so they were returning from their drill. So Mr. Hammond he wants to say something. He says but something chokes in his throat and he doesn't go on. So he takes a piece of chalk and he writes as large as he can write on blackboard. Vive la France. Vive la France, in English it means long live France. Long live France. And he makes his gesture, class is dismissed. So I hope that you will really like this chapter,